Oh, and welcome to another episode of Die of a Gold Coin Dealer. I'm wearing a hat because it's gold, before anyone says anything. But yeah, last week, last Friday, I put out a video saying legendary month question mark. No, no. Everything that could have fallen apart fell apart. I say fell apart. It didn't fall apart, but it didn't arrive within this within October. So I had essentially a month's wages tied up in barcoded stamps. They didn't arrive. I phoned them up because there was a client who was waiting on a certain part of the order. I had to supplement it with other stamps. And they said, "Oh, there's a 3 week backlog, so unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait at least another 2 weeks." And I thought, okay, well, they quoted me to the 12th, and I went, okay, it is what it is. And I was also waiting for some graded coins that didn't turn up. I was actually expecting them. I know there was a very bad um, hurricane in the States. Again, that is what it is. But had those two lots come in, I went from having aspirations of hitting a five-figure month, which I've only ever done once before in what 8 9 years, to and that's a freakish month as well. Like I was nowhere near those numbers. Like I used to aim for 6K a month uh, in terms of profit after I paid all my expenses, etc. So to hit 10K is an absolutely freakish month because I wouldn't always hit 6K a month. So if I was to make 50K in a year, I'd be over the moon. You're only as good as your last month. But in terms of having the aspirations of hitting 10K, it ended up being under six. And you could be thinking, oh, hang on, that's very lopsided. How can you be so far out? Because that's, well, it's not 40%, it's more than 40% because you got to do percentage the other way from 6 to 10. Um, and yeah, like there's a month's wages in the barcode stock. The graded coins, although I didn't know it at the time, um, I knew some of the grades. I didn't know some of the other grades. I found out literally this morning what some of the grades were. Had they come in, it would push me way over 10 between the graded and the barcoded. But what that means is I've now got a free roll of essentially 5 6K in terms of stock coming in. So is it the end of the world? No, it just gets allocated onto another month. It's all well and good saying, oh, I wanted to hit this number, but the reality is I'm still going to make it. It's just elsewhere. And I think you sometimes have to call it for what it is. And to hit 10 and to push for that is kind of in a way, it's an ego thing, isn't it? I'm not motivated by the money. It's more I wanted to see if I could do it again because I've only ever done it once. Now, in terms of the coins coming back, there was a couple of double sovereigns. There's an 1887 that came in at an MS60. There was a 1902 comeback a map proof. I didn't think it was a map proof when it come in. I wasn't sure. I'm not a numismatist. Oh, I don't consider myself a numismatist anyway. Um, it was a poor grade though. It coming out of PF61. So between those two coins, the margin's not really that good. I think I'll make 20% on them, considering the amount of time they've been away. It's probably been a poor return on my time. Um, there was let's have a look. There was a 1928 Perth Mint Sovereign. This was disappointing. I was expecting a 60s. I graded it just because sometimes I can't keep hold of stock and it's a way of me kind of saving. I thought it would be in the 60s. It didn't. It coming at a 58, which is incredibly poor for me, but I'm still going to make money because gold's gone up so much since then. There was a pond, which I knew was a key date. I knew it would get a details grade, and there was a dollar, which was just proving up. There's three coins I don't know about, so there's a $3 which I think is fake, but I sent it off to prove it up. The gentleman knows, so I said I'll let him know either way. He'll be going back to him if it is fake, and I'll just take the fee on the chin. There's a $5 which I believe was an MS, and there's an 1884 M Shield Sovereign, which I forgot was a Shield Sovereign. I sent it in. I was like, I don't know what coin that is. And also there was a 1988 proof, which I got from a client not too far away from me. That came in at a 69. It was trash. I thought when it came in, I thought I overpaid, but I've done deals with him where I thought I slightly underpaid as well. So I think in the balance of averages, it's fine. And last but not least, and this is what would have really put me over. This is where the money's going to be made when the coins come back, because I dealt with a gentleman who he sadly lost his mother. It must have been about 6-7 months ago, and he just said to me, "I want rid." He's really into his Titanic stuff. I want rid, and I went okay, and I ended up buying a collection from him. And there was this 2002 proof set, and this collection was a pain. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was a real pain to move some of those coins. It was a lot of work due to how diverse it was. Now, this is what some people don't understand. Like, you watch my channel and you're like, oh, I really enjoy the diversity, and so do I. But diversity can also be a rod for your own back, or at least in my case. It makes for great content, or at least I feel. But when selling it, it's not always that simple. But this 2002 free coin proof set coming, the one-off shield design. And when I got them, I was like, trash. These are trash. If I make a bit over spot, they're not good. They were really badly handled. But not just like, you get the light fingerprints on a coin. That can be resolved. Some of these coins had smear marks on them. I felt like they had smear marks. From memory, they were poorly handled. And I just thought, you know what? I'll send them in for conservation. And if I get lucky on one, it pays for itself. And a bit, what happened was they all hit a 70, and I have no idea how. I personally wouldn't have said they were anywhere near that. But this is why I'm not a grader, and sometimes it pays just to buy a ticket to the lotto. Occasionally you win, and I think on this occasion I've certainly come out on top. I did message him earlier when I found out, and I just said, "You do know they're 70s." I would never have said that, because I remember messaging him saying these are trash. But the reason it's become really profitable for me is because the way I sold the collection, I never took a penny profit out of it. So due to the way I've accounted for it, it's meant that whatever I make from these coins is pure profit, which it's going to put me between the graded coins, so all the graded coins and the stamp stock, $5,000. There's $5,000 profit just from those. So to go back to October, am I disappointed? No, I'm not disappointed, because I would have hit that had it come in. But equally, it means that I've got another month of 5k. And that doesn't include, I've still got bits and pieces to sell. I'm still got my regular stamp clients. I've still got bits coming in pretty much daily. I've got people asking me to sell coin all the time, and I'm just saying to them, I was like, I'm buying at 97% on gold. And silver, it depends what it is, but because the price has gone up so quickly, and people saying, fair enough. In the past, people were like, no, I'm not interested in that. But a lot of people just said, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. It's gone up so much that if you're selling it for spot, that's what, 3, 4, 5%. It's more than 3%. It's slightly more because you're working under 97. Let me work that out. I'm not entirely sure. I've never done the math on that. Divided by... It's 3.9%. So if you buy at 97 and you sell at spot, it's 3.9%. So not making a killing. It's just coins in, coins out. I agreed to buy 50 times 1 gram gold bars. Some of these will be for sale. I bought them in to move the postage. I've got £4,800 worth of postage stamps I need to use. I am adamant that I am going to use them. So yeah, that's been my week. Legendary month, not so much. Am I that bothered? Not so much. Will next month be a legendary month? You never know, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, as long as I'm ticking over, I'm bored, and I'm keeping out of trouble, when I'm putting out content that's kind of useful for you guys, I'm more than happy with that. After Christmas, I want to go back to 3k a month. I think that will make me happy. I recently stepped inside the gym for the first time in 18 months since pre-sickness. I couldn't have done that several months back. I just my senses wouldn't have allowed me to. Like my nervous system was absolutely shot. Um, so yeah, my what I want to do is shifting. I'm also trying to learn some more German, which that will make sense down the road. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. I haven't really talked about gold on this one, but I'll probably talk about it on the next video. I've got some bits coming in tomorrow from an old dealer I used to associate with. He doesn't really deal much these days, but he sent me some bits in, and I'll probably talk about gold on that one. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.